given special focus to gender and culture.
Yes.
Where did that come from? Why have you felt that that's important enough so that you want to really bring that to the attention of folks who are going to be mediators?
I think there's been a lot of good work in culture and gender in general and in theory, but not so much in practice. And I tend to be someone who's very practice focused. I like to take the theory and apply it. And so when good writers write about how gender and culture impacts or can impact negotiation, but we as mediators then don't take it to the next level and take that theory and say, okay, what does that mean for the two people at my table? If there's people who are very what I call polychronic, processing all like this, and people who are very monochronic, who are more sequential and linear and organized. And if I happen to be a monochronic style, and I'm very sequential and linear and organized, and my parties are very polychronic, very global thinking, very looser with time, much more multiple issues, and I make them do a sequential linear process, am I being disrespectful of just something at the core that's different, and am I biased in using my style? If I have no interrupting, like I said before, and they're crosstalkers, then I'm not being sensitive to that. If I am judging sincerity of someone at the table by how passionate they are, whether they're looking me in the eyes or whether they shake my hand in a strong way, I'm disallowing a huge portion of the world's population when I make that judgment. So to me, it's really taking the theory and saying, okay, now what do we do with it on a day-to-day level in how we interact with people? We have to take all that theory, a lot of which has been, like I said, well written about already, and apply it. I'm not interested in reinventing the wheel. I think the wheel's, it's there, it's just what are we doing with it?
Right. So there's been a gap between
Theory and
writing
practice.
about it, the theory of it, and what actually
so.
makes it into how do we look at these two people.
Exactly.
Yeah. But this culture is homogenous.
You're just saying that to provoke me. This culture is not homogenous.
Okay.
To me, it's like when I teach and I look out at the room and I think, well, you know, in order to go to this particular school, probably upper middle class, relatively well educated, good grades, and I make judgments, and then I start listening to my students, and I find out that one was a resistor in South Africa, and another person has been held prisoner over here, and somebody else is who looks, and I put it in quotes, who looks African American is actually Korean, was raised in Korea. You know, I mean, we just make these assumptions that we're homogeneous. We don't delve into what's going on and what are people's backgrounds. And I do a little exercise with my cross-cultural class where I have them guess when they first meet me what I am. You know, and I don't know why that I'm at least a twice married lapsed Catholic from Kansas, none of which is true. But people just make judgments, and they make these predictors based on what you look like. So when I look at a room that I think may be relatively homogeneous, I have to go, step back. Your perceptions are not reality here. And so, so I don't think we're homogeneous, even if it looks like it on the surface. And then you just add the complexity and the diversity on top of that, and I think we're much more diverse than we think.